What's good, everybody? This is Y and Z, a conversation between the generations. Which generation may you ask? Well, I represent one half of that equation, the Y part, better known as the millennials. The name is Jay Clark. The other half of that equation, the Gen Z of it all, the young bloods, represented by young Xavier D. Lewis. Trying to stay warm out here. How you doing, my brother?
My guy, I love this weather. The only thing is, man, we really might need to rethink when Christmas is.
Oh,
You
it's
know,
in the South. That's why. That's why.
because this is what I want to think Christmas should be like on Christmas Day and things like that. But this is almost Valentine's Day.
You growing up in the sippy. Don't know nothing about that cold Christmas. As
No,
a
no, no,
Northeast
no.
cat, this that temperature hit just I was like, ooh, it's chilly out here. Let me bring out my hoodie.
It make you feel like you back at home, huh?
Oh man, I live for this weather. Shoot, yeah. I'm gonna put on some layers. Like, share, subscribe. We're gonna get into a little fun this here week as we do have that season of love coming across the way in a couple
Yeah,
weeks, as
yeah.
Youngblood said, feeling like Valentine's Day. I saw a post the other day, and I want to ask the Youngblood a question. Sir, what age, if you could pick when that time would so happen, would be the age that you're like, yep, I'm getting married here? I'm just curious.
25.
25.
25.
Why 25?
But like, they say that that's that age where your frontal lobe has developed. Me personally, because I had an earlier start in my career
I thought you
than
were about to
most
say earlier
would.
start to something else. Okay. Uh-huh.
Career wise, I think I have a better footing in my career
Mm-hmm.
to be able to establish a marriage at that point. It also plays into the finances of it as well, the financials that come alongside marriage. Now, am I saying kids? No, but marriage, yes. So yeah, 25. That's what I'm thinking at.
I'm just asking because this post
That's the
here
game plan.
says that specifically says men who marry after 35 have the lowest divorce rates of any group. How do you feel about that, youngin? 10 years later than you would plan to do
Mm.
so.
In my head, I'm thinking, I guess that makes sense.
Why?
I'm thinking it makes sense because if I'm getting married after 35, first of all, this already should be a no shenanigans type of ordeal. You know what I'm saying? We after 35, what really is going on here? This is not us in our 20s where we feel like we have all the time in the world. Either we gonna be this or we gonna be that. That's it. So if I'm getting married after 35, I'm just in my head like, okay, this must be what I want to do. I'm not gonna wake up one day and be like, nah, I don't want to do this anymore. I'm after 35. The maturity levels should be there for me to be like, nah, okay, this is it. This is it. This is what it's gonna be. That's it. So it kind of makes sense that they would have lower divorces. But I want to hear your thoughts. What do you think when you see this?
Slight crock of bull.
Mmm. Mmm. Explain.
The person you marry could change the next day.
Real.
At what age does that matter what that happens? And if your whole excuse for saying men who marry after 35 is because they feel more established, yada, yada, all this societal BS about the checklist that you should check off before finding your good thing and set and deciding that she's the one you want to spend the rest of your life with, it's a crock of garbage.
Thank you. Somebody put in the comments, they said, y'all just need to grow up earlier. Married at 22, still in it 17 years later. I think that's what it all boils down to. I don't think it boils down to like you said, I think you could. Some people could try to keep it surface level and be like, "Oh, the checklist, and I need to have this amount of money in the bank account, or I need to be at this level in my career." All these kind of like different things that really mean nothing.
Hmm.
People try to make it mean so much. At any age, if I'm just mature enough to handle a marriage, that's all it is. It's maturity. It ain't even about the love that I have for that person. I could love you down. But if I'm not mature enough to steward that love well, I could be 50.
I, it's one of these things. How many different ways can we say it's okay to be selfish? And I'm not saying it's not.
Wow. Wow. Wow.
That's literally all this thing is. It's like it's okay to have. Yes, this age, which we will say is after is middle age, it's real adulthood. Yes, it's better because I think you'll find people are finally not being as selfish and they're like, okay, let's really do this. Pickings start to get a little slim post 35. Your options, at least, I know the study said men, but if you're marrying within your range, that window starts to close a little bit or feel a little tighter on the other side. So maybe you feel special. I don't know. It's just trash to me. It's
And like I said, this could be a very true statistic. Don't get me wrong. But I don't know if this is a statistic we should be proud of. So like you said, just to piggyback on your point, this now tells me that you're almost telling me subsequently that it is okay for me to be selfish up until 25. So I mean
30
35.
35. Pretty much that's what it's saying. Is
Because
that you
let's
have
be
the mindset to
real,
change your
there
mind at
is
that point.
there is no man that is not being in any relationships until 35. There's not even most men that can say that they have no kids by the time of 35. This is just a statistic saying that men after 35 have less divorce. But promise me, he's had other relationships and he's played around in, been selfish on both sides of this equation, male and female. They have children, but it wasn't until after 35 that it stopped being acceptable for them to be selfish.
For me, it comes down to what kind of life design do you want? Like
Yeah.
for me, and I find it crazy how we are our two generations for the most part, our two generations that definitely grew up idolizing the love that we felt we saw demonstrated from our grandparents with these 40, 45, 50, 55, 60 year marriages. You're not getting that starting at 35, number one. Number two, I'm not trying to be no old dad. If I'm getting married at
I'm
35, how
telling
long
you
until we have kids?
now.
I Kids are
I
a bundle of energy.
that bro, and I don't care what people say. You cannot truly be there for a child, and you're in your 40s with an 8-year old.
That's not too crazy, but it's definitely a little more tiring. And then,
Exactly.
do you want to be a grandparent? Okay, let's just say I waited till 35. Let's just say I didn't have a first one till 37. They gonna wait and do the same, which means at a minimum, I'm in my
You 70,
70,
80.
mid 70s for my first grandchild. Maybe. Like it to me, it comes down to life design. If you want certain things, you got to make certain sacrifices sometimes.
Correct. Mature yourself, man, woman, whoever you may be watching this. Mature yourself right now. I'm not saying that you have to just go and get married tomorrow. I'm not saying that, but don't limit yourself to thinking, "Oh, I'm just gonna be selfish." It's and we've said this before. I don't think there's any point in time where you should be selfish.
You can be selfish, but I think it's one of these things like I have to do this checklist before I can cross the goal. And I think
Ma'am, you said it better.
that's the problem because marriage is about spending time and building a life together. Why I got all this thing says a lot, even a lot of the comments in this talking about how yeah, that's when a man is settled down and ready. He's got everything together. Well, why do I have to wait till there is a beauty in creating something with somebody. Now, unfortunately, not everybody is mature enough or built out to do that. Some people are not looking for that. They're looking for the microwave ready-made meal that's the bank account. But like, I'm
I don't get it. And I even said to this point, I'm some days I get scared right now because I'd be like, I I'm getting a little bit comfortable living by myself. I'm getting because I don't want to get too comfortable to the point that one day when I do get married, now I'm experiencing too many growing pains because I have to learn how to share this space now.
because you have been a fully individual for the last however long. Yeah.
Exactly. You see what I'm saying? And I don't think people are realizing that the marriage is gonna be. It's not about what I. It's yes, it's about what I bring to the table. Don't get me wrong, but it's more so about what we can create with each other at the table.
Say that again, young boy. Look at you. Go ahead, man.
Right?
Go ahead,
It's
man.
not about what I checked off the list when I came up, but it's about what can we check off together. That's the marriage. It's the two becoming one, right? So I've always been like very thrown. I've been so like confused when people just be like, "Oh, I need to have this level of a job, or I need to have this in the bank account, or I need to be living in this kind of living situation or whatever like that." Don't get me wrong. I say yes, you probably should have first lived by yourself to understand yourself before you get into a marriage. I'm not saying go straight out of your parents' house and into a marriage. You've never had your time for yourself, to discover yourself, not to just be selfish, but to just discover yourself and pour
Mhm.
back into yourself. Two different things. Um, but yeah, the whole thing of like, yeah, I need all of this. I just don't get it. I don't get it.
I mean, I know the economy's bad. I know it's rough out here for y'all. I know it is.
Yeah.
But damn, y'all just trying to kick the can down the road. And this not to shame anybody who maybe does get married late. Plenty of people do. Maybe you don't want kids, all that kind, whatever. That can change the plan. But I think it goes back to what do you want your life to look like? And you have to start certain paths. You got to start down sooner rather than later, or start walking. Like, yeah, if I want the 40, 45 year, I'd be blessed if we get to 50-year marriage. I can't wait till I'm 40 to start that.
Right. I cannot, and not just saying we're not even idolizing, the number of
Yeah,
I want a 40-year marriage or I want a 50. It's not an idolization of that. But I do want to say that this marriage has stood the test of time.
this is my baby.
Right,
We
right.
are
I want to
seeing
say
life
that.
together.
Right. It literally, bam. It's just like what you said. The marriage is its own living organism. That year one, infancy stages. You know what I'm saying? It's just like how you would treat a child. It matures over time. I always play around with my parents because they're they got married the same year I was born. So I always play around with them and I'll be, I always, conjoin my age with their wedding anniversary. And I'll be like, all right, look at y'all now. Y'all about to turn 24 because I'm about to turn 24, and everything like that. And so the way that my development is going, maybe their marriage is developing the same way. You know what I'm saying? Because that marriage is its own organism that has to be, nurtured for and cared for because it's the two becoming one. So yeah, I
Mhm.
agree. Don't get like I said, the statistic could very well be true. But when we sit down and analyze that statistic, what does that really mean?
Well, also the statistic being true doesn't negate anything else either. That it doesn't tell you what the success rate is for, let's just say if you got married by 25 or between 25 and 35. Hell, it could be a 5.2 point difference. Yeah, that's minimal then. Like if it ain't that big of a difference, then yeah, it's really don't mean jack squat. Just becomes another reason. Oh, I'm gonna be selfish a little bit more. The statistics say is it's better when you get married later. Oh, okay. Oh,
And let's
okay.
be real, the case is rarely people like, oh, I just couldn't find love until after 35. Let's be real, that wasn't the case. The case was that you made other things more important up until that point. You prioritized other parts of your life that you felt like you needed to check off that list.
Well, I'm gonna not be as reckless as the young blood here. For some folk, yeah, they did not find that love until later in life, and for those folk, I feel it's. Hey, I'm glad you found it. I'm sorry it took that long. I hope it doesn't take that long for the young blood over here. Let's just say I'm glad I'm not in them streets because at this point, if I was still out there in the streets at this point, I might just be like, yep, I'm gonna just be in these streets.
There is acid in the dating pool.
It's pee in the dating pool. Might have pissed in the water.
I mean, that's exactly what it's been. Um, let me see, because let me read some of these other comments right here. See, here we go. Somebody said that makes perfect sense. I'm 37 and now feeling like I'm in my holistic prime, mentally, physically, emotionally, financially, intellectually, spiritually. And that might, but I'm not getting it though.
And that could be your individualistic prime.
Correct. This
That
is not
mar-
the prime for
that,
every
that
man.
that marriage is another game.
All right, that's good. Now you can speak to this. Cause you're a married man. I'm not married. You can speak to this. Speak about the stride that you can hit aside from being an individual versus marriage.
I'm just saying it's a lot less stress out in these streets. I don't have to go out to have that kind of good time. I can just go out and enjoy a time that is being had. But no, it's a different game, and the rules of the game that I'm playing by on this here playing field could be different than your field. It's all about your own individualistic thing. Like that's key number one. It goes back to what's the life you want to design. And a big part of that will be the partner that you choose. And that should be somebody who y'all align with stuff because at the end of the day, what goes on between me and my wife? Between me and my wife.
Nah.
We make it work for us. And that's all that matters. That's
Yeah.
all that matters. We 11 years in the game this year. Like, yeah, we charting on down that road.
Yeah, man.
39 more to go to at least we get that 50. It's in the sights. I want to be the old couple. Yeah, that's been my baby for 40 years.
Yeah, you know what I'm
That's
saying?
what I want, you know. You know.
You take love and pride with it. Somebody said this. I'm not here to argue this, but it depends on what you're prioritizing. Marrying later could mean that you bring a lot more past relationship connections and issues to the marriage. It could mean that you're less likely to adjust to building a life with your partner. I don't want my sons to be too young, but I don't want them fornicating for years, either because society is saying stuff like this. I got married at 20 and we're going on 25 years. You have to be led by God, period. Some people will be younger, some older, but mindset and commitment are key. I've seen lots of older marriages not work either because people couldn't adjust. Just a perspective to add to this convo.
Mic drop.
Mic drop.
That's a mic drop. Because
She said that so beautifully. And I hate to be that person, but I'm going to talk about what she said here. Because I know this might not be hip in society, but let's be real. You are not getting married after 35 as a virgin. You've been out here playing these streets for 10, 15, 17, 20, maybe 20 years.
ooh, 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 ooh.
And now all of a sudden, oh yeah, I'm finally there, and I finally got to that point where I could be the man I know I can be. Please, really? Come on, man. You've been out here running game for 20 years.
Telling on yourself a little bit there.
Nah, man, I ain't running game. Got
Just
the
saying.
time to run no
Yeah,
game,
yeah,
bro.
gotta know when to hang the jersey up. You don't want to have the good thing come along, be like, no, I'm not ready yet. I still got a couple things on my checklist.
Right.
Man, bump that. When you find the good thing,
You better
he
hook a hole to it,
he,
bro.
he who finds a wife,
Find it.
a good thing.
You better preach, Deacon.
Boy, give me that E flat. Shoot.
You so funny because E flat, that's that preacher key, bro.
Shoot. Hey, I'm a church kid. I know about that E flat. But I'm saying, man, it's man, like even this cold snap, I ain't have to worry about, ooh, let me find me a cold weather buddy. Nope. I live with mine. Uh,
Right.
we just what plans we making, baby? Oh, what food we gonna eat? What we gonna do? How we gonna spend our time together? And like it's just we got to lock down. It's all that. I don't even care about this kind of stuff. I don't even know how this ish popped up on my feed. It's probably your feet fault. But like
Dying.
these are streets. I'm so thankful I'm no longer in, man. That is blessing number one. I'm like, thank you, God, for that woman who lay beside me. every night. Yes, Lord.
Bro.
Because
It's as simple as that. It really is as simple as that, man. And it's all about people just being like they just don't have the wherewithal to want to mature before that 35. They just feel like, oh yeah, after 35, these things have to happen. So now I'm gonna actually get serious.
so what you do, Xavier? Because I see the weight, a burden for you. Date order, sir.
Oh, just, shut up, don't say nothing.
We're
Don't
gonna
say
get
nothing.
out. We're gonna get out of here on that note. It is Y and Z, a conversation between the generations. Like, share, subscribe. We appreciate any time you have spent with us for this conversation. Share your takes with us as well at jclark787, at Xavier D. Lewis, at YZ The Divide. I'm gonna get the
Yeah,
dirt from this young blood over here. Maybe he has taken some notes and I'm raising them right. We'll see what happens. But
yeah.
until next week, peace out.
Peace out, y'all.